Hey dollface, thank you guys so much for watching. We are going to be doing some polygel nails today. As you saw by the title, these are some red heart Valentine's Day nails. We're going in with the Kiara Sky After Party in the artistic color Red Warden. We're going to be using gelish for the foundation and the gelish Pro Bond. So I hope you guys like this video. Please don't forget to subscribe if you are new, and also hit that notification bell so you guys know when I am posting new videos. So we're also going to go in with some red hearts and these red crystals. So we are going to go ahead and start the process. I am just taking some rubbing alcohol. I think it's 70%, and gonna go in with my cuticle pusher and just push back all of my cuticles. I'm doing it very gently. I do have it sped up, so it does look a little rough, but just note, guys, this is being done very gently because I don't want to hurt myself, and during this process I do not want to hurt my client. So again, very gentle. Then I'm going to be taking my drill and using a cuticle bit just to get around the cuticles and really clean those up. So when it comes to the polygel application, it's going to be a nice clean cuticle area, and that is going to minimize any lifting. When you are doing any sort of artificial nail or any sort of enhancement, whether it be gel polish or whatever, cuticle work is the most important, because it's gonna make your product last without any lifting or hardly any lifting. So again, I am going to be taking my drill, and I am using a medium grit sanding band at a speed of 5, and I'm just gonna etch all of my nails. Again, this is part of the prep process. So all of these steps here, if you follow them and you do them correctly, like I said, you're gonna really minimize any sort of lifting on the nail from any of the enhancements. Now, just cleansing the nail again before I do any application or start gluing on my tips. So I'm just taking some more rubbing alcohol and a scrub brush and just really giving them a good scrub to remove any dust and debris that was accumulated while I was prepping the nails. So now I'm going to go in with my Pro Bond primer, and I do 2 coats of this. I feel like the first coat, is gonna do like the pH bonding or the pH balance of the nail, and then the second coat is gonna be just a little more tacky, and that's also gonna help for your product to stay without hardly any lifting. And then I'm also going to be taking that gelish foundation, and we're going to do a base coat, and we're gonna make this base coat a little thinner. We don't want to add too much. It's not necessary, so I'm just doing a thin coat of base coat, and I will be curing this for a full minute in an LED light. I do use the Kiara Sky rechargeable LED light. So now we are getting to the part where I apply the tips. So basically what I'm doing is just putting a little bit of that base coat from Gelish and putting it on the tip, and then placing it on my nail, pressing down, and then curing it under this little light. And I hold it there for about 5 seconds, and then to really ensure that it got cured, at least good enough to hold on. And then once I'm done applying all of the tips, I will put them in my big light and cure it for a full minute to ensure they are fully cured. So again, just taking some of that base coat and applying it to the tip, then pressing down firmly to my nail, and then curing under this little LED light. You guys, this little light is good for doing stuff like this, and even like doing gel X, but it's not the best. You kind of have to maneuver a little bit, and it makes things a little bit uncomfortable. But I did see that Kiara Sky came out with a like portable LED light, and guys, that looks like the perfect light to do any sort of gel X or anything like this, because like you'll just have to go on their website and check it out. It's pretty cool. It's in the works of me purchasing soon, hopefully, but it is on the list. Now cutting this tips to size, we're gonna go a little longer with this set. So that's pretty much it. I'm gonna be just cutting these nails down to size. These nail tips were kind of hard to cut with these scissors. Either my scissors are getting old, or these nail tips were just really thick. But either way, we cut them down. We got them where we wanted them. So we're just gonna go ahead and take my drill and oh, excuse me, I'm gonna file them first, give them a little bit of reshaping, and then I'm gonna take my drill at a speed, I believe it was like an 8, with my medium sanding band, and then we're just gonna go ahead and blend those tips in. Make sure they're nice and flushed at the nail bed area, because when we're applying our product, we want it to be smooth for application, and also it's going to help with keeping the artificial tip from lifting from the natural nail over time. So doing this process will ensure that as well. So I am also going to be reshaping them up a little bit with my drill. I felt like these nail tips, these are the ones that I got in my Shein haul, that I did a video on, which I'll leave linked down below to show you guys. But I feel like they're a little thick. I don't know. I guess we'll see how they come out. I did have to do a little bit more reshaping, whereas some of my other tips that I have already come like pretty well pre-shaped, so there's like very minimal reshaping or filing when it comes to that. But it's okay. We'll make it work. Then before you start any process of applying any product, you want to make sure you give your nails a good scrub, because you want to remove all of that dust, guys. And then I'm just going to be taking that base coat again from Gelish, the foundation, and we're going to be covering the entire nail. So cuticle to end of artificial tip. This is going to be our base layer for the polygel. And please, guys, if you guys are doing polygel, or if you know starting to work with polygel for the first time, don't forget this step. This step is also very important. I feel like sometimes people forget to add a base layer again before applying the polygel. All right, you guys, we're getting into the fun part of this video. So here I am showing you guys the little hearts that I'll be using. I thought I was going to use the red in like this light rose pink color, but I ended up just sticking to the red. And as you saw just a little snippet right before, I did pour some of that slip solution in my little dampen dish. You don't need a whole lot. And then taking that number 14, like nude baby pink, I guess just more of a nude pink from the Model 1's Polygel. And on this first nail, guys, we're going to be doing like an ombre effect. So we're going to have that base layer and we're going to blend it out. You don't need a lot of pressure when, you know, working with Polygel. It seems like it's a lot of pressure just because the video is sped up just a little bit. So it looks a little more rough than what is actually going on. So you literally just need to do the tiniest amount of tapping and pressure. And then when I did get down to that area where I'm dragging the product out, I did apply a little bit more pressure just so I can get that flawless blend. So that's basically what I'm doing with this nail. I'm gonna blend it and then I will flash cure it. The last time that I did Polygel, I believe I just like applied it and then cured it, but because we're going to be working with, you know, encapsulating and adding embellishments in between, you do want to cure your product. So once I am done and think that is good, I will cure it. Not doing a full cure, just doing a little flash cure. And then I'm going to be taking that Kiara Sky color that we have. It's like a red glitter with a little bit of silver sparkle. And then we're going to be doing that at the top of the nail and then blending that down. And then once we get to the point of adding the embellishments, we will cure it. But before I do that, I'm going to put this first layer down and then I'm going to get it to how I want it, blend it out how I wanted it. Make sure it's not too thick because we are working in layers and we don't want our nails to be too bulky. So I'm going to cure that first layer of glitter and then I'm going to go in with another layer of glitter. And then before I cure that layer, before I cure that second layer of glitter, I'm going to apply the hearts to it. So here I'm laying down that second layer and then you'll see me applying the hearts and I'm just placing them where I feel that they look good. You can always, you know, put it on there. If you don't like it, take it off. I did that too. I think one or two of the stars, the hearts. And so here I'm just kind of mapping it out, seeing where I feel like which goes better. And then as soon as I'm done doing this, guys, I'm going to cure it. And then you'll see me add a base coat. So after I'm done curing the hearts, I will add a base coat over top before I add the clear polygel to finish it off. And then I'll give the nail a full cure. Ooh, that's looking super cute. I think that's actually probably my favorite nail. Now that I'm actually looking at them now because I've already finished them and I'm doing a voiceover. And oh my gosh, these are cute. You hear that? I think that's probably the most fun, like when having artificial nails, is the clackety clack. All of that stuff, you know. Anyways, so we're gonna give that a full cure and then we're gonna move on to the next nail. So as you can see, that middle finger was just the plain nude color. We're gonna go later down the road and we're gonna add a 3D flower, but for now we're gonna focus on this ring finger. And I'm taking that red color from Artistic Color, Red Warden, and going right over the base coat. I am gonna do 2 coats of this and I will cure. And then once cured, I will add a layer of the red glitter, and then we're also gonna do some hearts on that. You guys, when you're working in layers, using polish as like the base layer or a color underneath the polygel or even under acrylic is a good way to, you know, really minimize making your nails too bulky, because it's so thin. You can do a layer or 2 layers, and then, you know, again, I'm going to be adding hearts and glitter. So, and it's still going to be pretty thin. And now, then I'm going to build it up with the clear polygel. So that's going to give me my structure and stability to the nail. So here I am just adding those hearts, and I'm going to be placing the hearts on the entire nail. So just kind of maneuvering them around and placing them where I think they look good. Once again, the reflection of these hearts is so cute. They have like a halographic affection, but like in the red tones, and just depending on whatever color they are, like it sticks to that tone. So I really like that about them. I believe I also got these in this Shein haul. I did a TMU/Shein, so I can't specifically remember if it was from TMU or Shein. But it's in either one. Again, I'll leave the video link down below. And then before I do the layer of clear polygel over this nail, I want to go back in and do a base coat again. So that way it's, you know, going to leave a tacky layer for that polygel to stick to. And it's also going to fill in any little gaps from where the hearts that are like lifted or raised and not completely flat to the nail. So those gaps are going to get filled in. That way when I'm doing the polygel, you're not going to get any air bubbles or anything like that. So I'll just be, you know, laying down this polygel, and once it's laid, I will put it under the light and give it a cure. Now we're going to carry on to the pinky and the thumb, and these 2 nails are going to be fairly simple. So we're just going to be using that nude pink color, and we're going to cover the entire nail. So we're going to cover the entire nail of the pinky and the thumb as well. And then we're going to do a red French tip on those. So nothing, we're not doing any encapsulations or anything like that. So I'll just let you guys enjoy this portion of the video. Hopefully it doesn't bore you too much, but if you're like me, this is like the good stuff. Okay, so we have our polygel laid down, and there is going to be like a little bit of a sticky layer on there. It's called the inhibition layer. So we're just going to want to take some rubbing alcohol and spray it on a paper towel or directly on your nails and just rub it over, and it'll remove that layer. And then going in with my file, I'm just going to be shaping up the sides a little bit more. I feel like these tips were a little thicker on the ends, or on the sides, sorry. So I wanted the shape of my nails to be like that tapered square look. So I'm just gonna go in and be taking down some of the sides to my liking, and then after that I will be taking my drill, and I'm gonna be using a fine sanding bit, and I believe the speed that I use is 18 or 19 when I do this portion of the nails. So my bit is from Kiara Sky, my drill is from Kiara Sky, obviously, and I'm just going to go over my entire nail. So you like to start from the bottom to the top and just go side to side. Anywhere that I see that it needs debulking, especially kind of like right there in the center, I'm just taking my drill over it and then down the sides. And then I'll also go around the cuticle area, and then I will be using my drill to reshape these nails as well on the tip. So it's not much, guys. It's just a little bit of reshaping that we're doing, and just a little bit of areas that I think that I saw or noticed were a little bit thicker. That's what I'm going in with my drill for, to just minimize the thickness and give these nails a little bit of more reshaping. And then after I do this portion of the video, I will be going in with my drill again, but I'll be using my medium sanding band just to buff over the nails. The nails are looking nice and clean and sharp and square. So here I'm just taking my medium grit sanding band and just going over these nails. Essentially, this is just like me buffing the nails, but I like to do it with my drill instead. And then I will go in with the buffer. I don't think I have that portion of the video in here. I think I edited it out. But just know I do go in with the buffer just to really buff my nails smooth, especially the ones that are encapsulated. I'll take my buffer. It's a 3-way buffer, so, you know, a coarse grit, a medium grit, and a soft grit. And I'll start off with a coarse, move to the medium, and, of course, move to the soft bit, or the soft side of the buffer, and really buff the nails that are encapsulated, because I don't want any scratches or anything on the nails, because they have, you know, encapsulation underneath and a design underneath, and the more scratches you can eliminate from the nail, the more shine and the more your design will come out. So here I am just going to be taking that color, artistic color, Red Warden, and we're going to be doing the thumb and pinky as a French tip. So I'm just going to be lining out my, I guess just mapping out my French. So because the nails are so long, I'm going to start off the sidewalls, and I'm going to drag that French down pretty low as far as the starting point goes towards the bottom, and then just drag it up and then sort of come to a V. And then once I have like that sort of shape and how thick I want it and exactly where I want it to start curving, then I will just fill in the rest. So getting into the fun part, you guys, jewels. Anytime you add jewels to nails, or anytime I add jewels to nails, it's just like my favorite part to do. I feel like a little bit of bling goes a long way. You don't need a whole lot. If you like a whole lot, you can do a whole lot, but just a little bit goes a long way, and it always just brings the design of the nails just a little bit more pop and juice. So I'm going to be doing a 3D flower on this middle finger. So before I start the 3D flower, I'm gonna be taking those red crystals and some of that rhinestone glue by McCart, and I'm just gonna lay it down on the nail, and I'm doing a bigger jewel in the center, and then around the bigger jewel I am adding just a slight, I believe they're just like a size smaller, and then I will cure it. And then I'm going to be using just white acrylic for this, and the Kiara Sky 3D art brush and some monomer. So a little trick, guys, when it comes to doing 3D, if you've tried it before and it hasn't worked out for you guys, let me give you a little tip. So it's all in the monomer. So if you ever notice, like when you're doing like the flowers or anything like, or any sort of 3D artwork, and it's just too runny, that's your problem there. So you want to get your monomer, and you want to add a little bit of acetone to it. And what the acetone is going to do is just going to allow for your acrylic to set faster. So adding the acetone is going to help with that in the monomer. So you want to add acetone to the monomer, and that's just going to create a good flow for like when you're mixing it with the acrylic. It's going to dry at a faster pace, so your acrylic bead for your flower or whatever it may be is going to stay in place, and it's not gonna like flow over or lose its structure. So that's gonna allow you to mold it and create it to how you want it to be, but it's also gonna keep it wet enough and let you work with it as well to mold it how you like it. So I'm just adding just little flower petals on the snail, and guys, these flower petals are coming out cute. They're coming out perfect. They're the perfect size, and they're like the perfect ratio for this nail. I was in love with this nail. I think it's probably my second favorite nail. So my first favorite nail is that pointer nail. And that flower, there you saw me just do a little, yep, that flower came out great. So that's probably my second favorite nail. And now that we have all of these nails done, before I top coat them, I'm going to go in with my Pro Bond, and I'm going to brush this over my pointer and my ring finger. And what this is doing, guys, is just going to fill in any sort of like groove that I didn't buff out, or that I didn't see that I can buff out. So it's just filling those in. So when I put the top coat on, these nails are really going to shine and sparkle without any like creases or any like buffing marks, if that makes sense. And then I'm also going to add a little bit of more jewels on the ring and pointer. I'm just going to do 2 little ones, a bigger one towards the cuticle and then a smaller one right above it. And I feel like that topped this set off. And then once I'm done with that, I am going to top them off with that no wipe top coat. Oh my gosh, you guys, these nails came out absolutely adorable. So at the beginning of the video, I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do, or when I started recording, I knew I wanted to work with these colors and those hearts, but that was about it. As far as the rest goes, it was just kind of something that it was just like coming to mind as I was playing it out, and really started to envision it more. But I am super happy the way these came out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to share. And thank you so much for watching.